has been an awakening.
Hi, and welcome to the Mork Show. Let's get introductions out of the way, shall we?
Hello there.
General Kenobi!
So I'm Mork, and the story begins a few years ago when I started the blog, began writing about news, politics, pop culture, and philosophy, which is what got me to finally start this channel, and how I got to where we are right now. But it's not like any of this matters, right?
I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way, with 2 swords and maximum effort. Hear the music.
But let's be serious. What actually matters is what I believe, my thoughts, positions, principles, and ideas. I mean, that's why you're actually here.
Beneath this mask, there is more than flesh. Beneath this mask, there is an idea, and ideas are bulletproof.
Ideas like life, liberty, property rights, and freedom. Yeah, freedom is pretty important.
What will you do without freedom? And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom?
I would probably categorize myself as a classical liberal, leaning more towards economic freedom. So yes, a capitalist who wants much less government, and the cherry on top is I'm also a free speech absolutist. I believe old George said it best: if liberty means anything, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. Because that's actually what punk rock's always been about, standing up to those who tell you what to say and what to think. When it comes to these new cultural trends,
I have a bad feeling about this.
political correctness, identity politics, social justice, intersectionality, cancel culture, and only viewing the world through the prism of race and gender, I'm really not a fan.
Hate. Double hate.
Especially failed ideologies like Marxism, socialism, and communism that's had an ungodly body count in just this last century.
Loathe entirely.
So what exactly is the show all about, you're probably thinking? Well, I'm happy you didn't ask. But it's not like you can. It's video.
Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind.
Here's the crux. Traditional news media has grown into a monolith monopoly and bestowed itself with a dangerous power, that of setting the narrative, and to vastly influence public opinion. Kind of like this.
The president was compromised.
Russian. Dossier. Russian allegation. The Russian government.
Working with the Russians.
Trump campaign in Russia. Dossier. Russian government.
Trump campaign in Russia. Russian collusion.
Russia.
Collusion.
Collude, possibly.
A bombshell. Bombshell report.
BuzzFeed bombshell.
Bombshell report.
This is a manufacturing crisis.
Manufacturing a crisis.
Manufacturers' crises.
Manufacturing.
Mostly a protest. It is not, generally speaking, unruly, but fires have been started.
Peaceful protesters.
Peaceful protest.
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 Peaceful protests.
Peaceful protesters.
These protests have been largely peaceful.
Mostly peaceful.
Mostly peaceful.
I mean, I hate to inject common sense into this.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Above the law.
Is above the law.
Is above the law.
Ebola.
Ebola.
The new coronavirus outbreak.
Coronavirus.
The coronavirus.
The deadly coronavirus. Cases of coronavirus.
Wuhan coronavirus.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
The degradation of news media to newfound lows of unashamed political bias and unadulterated cult-like political affiliation should have your alarm bells ringing. And if you haven't noticed, either you're not paying attention or you've bought into this bullshit.
We thought it best to break it to you slowly.
Break what?
You've been asleep, Cap.
And if only that was where it ended. But to add insult to injury, we also have the totalitarian social media tech overlords to deal with, deciding what we are allowed to say. Any form of dissent from their orthodoxy is met with instant banishment, cancellation, or you're completely just unpersoned. The irony of all ironies is that these big tech companies have appointed the previously mentioned media companies as the official fact checkers and arbiters of wrongthink on social media, a literal ministry of truth.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
So much for informed debate, opposing opinions, or a free press to push back against such abuses of power. It has become nothing more than clickbait headline sensationalism driven by advertising and subscription revenue. Gone are the days of news media providing actual perspective and truth.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Well, it's exactly in this mindset that the show was conceived. If they're not going to do it, then by God someone should. Anyone. Even me. The Mork Show is a fresh and sometimes humorous take on news, current events, politics, pop culture happening here and all over the world. I can't promise that I won't be biased or make mistakes. After all, I'm only human. But what I will strive for is to be rational, fact-based, honest, and provide some balance. But mostly the truth.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.